2026 means that this will be my 10th year as a filmmaker and photographer. And I remember when I started our first project, it was a recap video of my junior college baseball team's road to the World Series. And then the first proper thing I ever made was right after that. It was a short film called KickBack with a group, and we called ourselves KickBack. We went by a bunch of different names: KickBack Productions, the KickBack Crew. It started as I read this book called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And it was, back in my early 20s, I was super ambitious about, making it somehow. And it was about how great companies and people make things happen. And it wasn't necessarily what or how you do it. It's why you do it. And I remember thinking and writing constantly that my why is to make movies. I want to make movies myself. I want to help other people make movies. So the next 9 years, basically up until this point, I've been following my passion, making things, being stubborn, making things that I want to make. Always saying to my friends, no, I don't care about the business. I care about art. And I do. I always will. Growing up, it was movies like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings that made me feel like I want to write stories like that. I want to create worlds like that. I'll never lose that. But over the last 9 years, you really realize how difficult this is. I remember when I was older and I first wanted to be a filmmaker, and I was like, nah, I can't do that. Like, it's too hard, And then I got a little crazy after reading some of those books, and I was like, I can do this. I'll be like Quentin Tarantino in a couple of years. I'll make this no budget feature and it'll blow up. And man, I quickly learned how difficult it is to learn this stuff: filmmaking, directing, cinematography, writing, editing, let alone managing a crew, producing, making people feel comfortable on set. I remember my early projects were nightmares. I stuck at it though. I never gave up throughout the last 9 years. And recently, in 2024, I quit my full-time job to pursue this full-time. And over the years, we've done weddings, corporate gigs. I've freelanced and PA'd on other people's projects, trying to establish myself as a cinematographer, trying to figure out how to turn KickBack into a production company, messed around with different names. And I've always struggled with branding. I'm a rebrander. I've got many different brands. I'm always starting something, creating something new. And that's what this video is about. KickBack Film Co. is our production company now. It's not successful. I've been trying for years, and I haven't really been trying. And that's why I'm doing this video, is because I want to document, I want to create a series of videos showing you my journey of trying to make this work, because everything that I've tried up until this point hasn't necessarily worked out. Whether it's timing, whether it's my stubbornness, whether it's the lack of drive to find certain opportunities, and really learning how to sell videos, and it's a skill set I've ignored because I've always thought you make great work and people will follow, money will follow, tell great stories. And I still always believe that. It's always story first for me. And also having a positive experience with people on set. Over the 9 years, I've learned so many things. I've made so many mistakes, but I've also had so many people give me opportunities. And I've learned so much from other people's sets. I've learned so much from mentors. I've learned so much from my failures and the things that I wasn't able to make happen. And I've never given up. That's the thing. I've never given up. My vision has always been for KickBack to be a place for narrative films, maybe TV, anything, telling stories. And I've always felt like, I don't know how to brand a commercial production company or a documentary production company, but I am a documentary filmmaker, and I have worked on commercials, and I've done some of my own and a lot of corporate projects, and I've never really known how to package that. We have a company already, Stone Weddings. My wife is leading that, and it's perfect. Weddings sell themselves, and video is so much different. And over the years, struggling to make that work has put me in a hole that not many people, I think, have ever really been in. More on that another time. But I just want to say that, if you're watching this and starting a production company or making a living with a camera is something that you're interested in, I feel for you, because it's not easy. Maybe it comes easier to some people, and maybe some people are more flexible and they didn't make some of the decisions that I made. Maybe they weren't as stubborn as I was when it comes to, trying to make art. But it's hard. It's not easy. It's hard. This is my 10th year, and second year being full-time doing this. And just now, I feel like I'm starting to see things change. And it has only come from my back being up against the wall and having a great partner, business partner, my wife, do this with me and really look at this and say, we have to make this work, or else we got to get jobs. And I'm not doing that. So, yeah, I might have failed up until this point, but if you're watching this video, which some people might be, waiting to see me fail completely, you'll have to wait a little bit longer because we haven't yet. And so I want to make this video specifically and start to make more videos documenting what it's like to try to start a production company, because even though we're starting it now, it's something that I've been doing for years, making films, making projects, creating work for corporations, businesses, nonprofits, small businesses, anything, people, documenting stories, musicians, entrepreneurs, artists. Stories, at the end of the day, is what gets me up out of bed, and every time I'm on set, it's magic to me, the way things are created, even if it's a corporate set. I don't know if that'll go away, but even just setting up lights for an interview, working with people in person, it's what I love. I love telling stories, and it doesn't matter the story to me, especially with the way the times they are changing in the entertainment world. But we really don't know the future of this business, filmmaking, especially with everything going on. But I do know that we've landed our first job. I've been working on gigs, and I do feel like we've hit, I don't want to call it the peak of the mountain because we're not high up right now, but maybe the lowest point. And now things can only go up from here. And so I just want to say that if you know somebody who's looking for a video in Delaware, KickBackFilmCo.com. I could sit here all day and talk about the regrets I have. I think I even made a video about regrets. I don't know if it was in film or in life. I've got many, but I try not to think about them too much because I do believe that things happen for a reason and that all of my failures made me who I am. Reflecting on those things made me realize what I truly need to learn to grow to make this happen, make this production company happen. And learning that I don't have to do it all. I don't have to be just a guy with a camera charging $200 for a video. Learning the value of this work, the value of stories and video production and just the presentation of it, the experience, and learning how to sell. I mean, if we're really getting down to it, learning how to sell video. It sounds so dumb to say because I don't even know what that means. And that's, I guess, why I'm doing this, is to show you what I learned from it. So just the other day, Ksenia and I reached out and called 28 dentists' office. Most of them said we're not interested. A couple of them gave us our email, and on that one day that we did that 1 hour, we heard back from one dentist office that might be interested in a project. As much as I feel dumb for not having done that before, I'm humbly sharing that with you because I want to put all that in the past, and I want to move forward, and I want to make this happen. I don't know how. I don't know if this will turn into some series other people can learn from, because I just want to share my journey and see what comes from it. And I believe a lot of good will come from it, and then eventually I'll make my first movie. No matter what, it's going to happen, whether it's this year or next year. But yeah, this is the first video. I guess this is KickBack Film Co., I want to get back to being cringe Jeff that tries really hard again. I've been doubting myself for a long time for no reason. Yeah, there I'm going again, mulling over things I could have done. No, that doubt has made me want to be great at this, and I've stuck with it even through the darkest times, even more times where I'm like, why did I choose this career path? It's not necessarily paying out in such a successful way, but it will, and it's because we stuck with it. I don't know if that's for everybody, but I know it's for me, because even on those darkest days where you could barely pay the bills, I still feel compelled to make this work, and I'm desperate to make it work. And so if you're somebody who's ever hired me, if you're someone who's ever been on any of my projects, I just want to thank you for those opportunities. And I hope that one day I can give those opportunities to other people. And that's a driving factor for me to make this business work, is because not only do I want to tell great stories, but I want to be able to pay people. I want to be able to help people that have helped me, and I want to be able to do the same thing that others have done for me. And up until now, I haven't been in that position. And so some of the things that we're trying to offer and sell right now are like branding photography for small businesses, or like dental places, healthcare places, lawyers, and brand videos, testimonial videos, and just trying to learn how to package certain services, not just have people come to me and say, "Oh, you do video?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you need a video? Like, what do you need?" No, just learn about their company, learn about their story, and know what they need, and use the years of experience I have and the storytelling mind that I have to be able to give them what they need. And I know that one of the things that's held me back is the fear of failure, but I'm failing now. So it's not like it can get any worse. So I know there's going to be more failures along the way, but at least to be failing forward. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, so this is the first video in that series. Welcome to KickBack Film Co., building a production company. This is episode 1 or 0. And yeah, I'm making another one soon, following up. That'll be better than this because I probably missed some things. But thanks for watching.